Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Live Healthy Mommy Gardens Facebook Live weekly episodes. Today, my name is Andrea Fletcher, and I'm with the Live Healthy Mommy Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative. Today, we're going to be featuring our FBOs from the Live Healthy Mommy Gardens Initiative, and excuse me. And we're led by the Trinity Church and Peacemaker Family Service Center. The Live Healthy Mommy Gardens initiative was established in 2014. It was funded back then by South Health Foundation of South Florida, and now the Center for Disease Control through the City of Miami Gardens. This was fun. This initiative was developed to engage and to participate in the city's strategic and systemic effort to reduce poor health outcomes and engaging community residents to improve selective public health indicators. Live Healthy Mommy Gardens is a collective impact initiative, bringing people together and strengthening the community capacity to collaboratively plan and collectively carry out strategies that make the vibrant community of Mommy Gardens healthier. The Mommy Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative is led by Trinity Church with the purpose of supporting faith-based organizations to develop a vision to strategies, goals, and a long-term action plan for improved health and wellness in the Mommy Gardens faith community. Our main initiative, we guide Mommy Gardens faith-based organizations process for developing a vision, strategy, long-term goals, short-term goals, and an action plan for healthier faith community. We conduct series of workshops on topics such as health disparities, health equity, and social determinants of health, and strategic planning and grant writing. We provide technical assistance and support to develop and implement written wellness plans and focus on adoptions of policies, environmental, and programmatic changes. And we provide opportunities for networking to develop relationships among faith-based organizations and local health-focused organizations. And we also provide the opportunity for faith-based organizations to apply for mini grants to support and the implementation of their wellness plans. Today, I have invited several of our faith-based organizations that have been participating with the Mommy Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative, and I would like to introduce them. First, we have Rima Barnes from Love Fellowship.
Hello.
We have Buffy Butler from Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. We have Minister Frederica Walker from Greater Love Baptist Church. And then we have Miss Veronica Mays from Mount Pisgah, Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. And today we want to talk about your experiences and what it was like while you have been in the program. Okay, so we're going to start with Ms. Rima Barnes. Can you tell me what was your recruitment process like for you in your church when the program was introduced to you? And tell me about what persuaded your church to join the initiative?
Okay. As you have already been told, I am representing Love Fellowship Ministries right there in Bunch Park of Miami Gardens. And so when we got introduced to the initiative, Miami Gardens initiative actually contacted our pastor, Bishop Wentworth Heron at the time, and he was most impressed. And so he came to the missions and outreach department, which also involves the health department and our feeding program. And so we realized that this was a very good program to start out with. And so we gladly jumped on, because our goal is to promote health in our community. And we realized that this was very integral in helping us to achieve that goal. So then that was mainly how we got in, and we are not sorry we are and are regretting in any way that we joined in this with this effort.
What was your take on it? What was your experience like during the recruitment process?
The
And
ex-
and what made you join the initiative?
was that for me still?
That was for Buffy Butler.
Because
wanted to improve, or we have a desire to work within our community and our congregation to improve the health and wellness of everyone. Our pastor Arthur Jackson III is very fitness focused. And so that's always one of our goals here at the church. Actually, every year prior to the pandemic, we started with a Healthy Start health fair here at Antioch. However, but one of the things that most excited us about being a part of this initiative was working with other churches and other faith-based organizations, and working with an ecumenical group. So that's what really garnered our attention, in addition to the health and wellness aspect of it, but partnering with churches and faith-based organizations within our community.
Yes, thank you. How about Minister Walker? What was your experience like?
Well, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Same thing. It was more about the personal touch when you yourself, of course, Andrea, came stop by Greater Love to give us a personal invite and to tell us about the initiative. The whole scope of the health and wellness components as a whole was a drive, for us or what have you. Of course, within our congregation, our focus is on health and wellness. And of course, pre-COVID, those things were definitely in the works, with us having different health fairs in the previous years or what have you. But then, of course, when COVID struck, that allowed for us to stay connected to our community and to provide them with resources that, of course, through the initiative, of course, with us signing on, the whole technical support, the whole premise of what the functioning pieces were going to be, with us being involved, those things were key for us. We wanted to stay connected to our not only our congregation, but our community, and we wanted to continue to do our part to spread the good news, not just of Jesus, but the good news of health and wellness that can be accomplished through various matrix. So those were the selling points for us. And like Buffy alluded to, us connecting with other ministries, all of us being on the same accord and wanting to do this collectively was also key for us.
Thank you. Miss Mays, what was your recruitment process like?
Well, Mount Pisgah Seventh-day Adventist Church was recruited by companies who participated in one of our health fairs before COVID. And so once they invited us to participate, we went through the process of getting together and going through the process of developing the plan that was submitted to us to formulate.
Good. And Now, you know that the Miami Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative, we do capacity building. That's one of our biggest things is doing capacity buildings with all the organizations. Some of the churches may have a health ministry, some may not. So everyone is at a different place. However, capacity building is one of the things that we do. So we start where the organization is. So right now, let's bring it in. Let me talk to Buffy Butler. Can you tell us what aspects of the capacity building benefited, that you think that your church benefited from most?
I
And
I think the technical aspect or the technical support that we received assisted us a great deal in helping us to expand our capacity because of the resources that were available to us. So we started this process prior to COVID, but COVID quickly became a part of our new way, our new normal, our new way of looking at things. And so we initially did not have the capacity to reach beyond necessarily beyond our walls, but through the initiative, we were able to partner with organizations like Broward Health South, which allowed us and still allows us to this day to provide online health and wellness classes, whether it's exercise classes, meditation, uh, Zumba, all of those things, we were able to expand our capacity. And a part of the process, or one of the things that we had begun prior to the pandemic, was we were developing an app with our church. So now through the initiative, we were able to allow our congregation to access resources that we were able to push out through our app and social media. We were able to also connect with organizations that were offering classes as relates to diabetes and Alzheimer's, all of those things that were done online and helped to propel us or put us in a position that we could be a great help, not only to our church family, but to our community at large. So now we were not only just serving a few people here in our building, but we were able to push out to approximately 5,000 people through our app and, offer, which we still do, as I shared earlier, the classes that are offered online through Baptist Health, it's nutrition classes, all of those things through their series like on diabetes and Alzheimer's for caregivers as well. So it just allowed us, it helped to undergird us, I should say, during this whole COVID uh, pandemic that we've been through, almost going on 3 years now.
yes, thank you, Buffy. And Miss Mays, what aspect of the capacity building do you benefit from your church, Mount Pisgah, 7 Day Adventist?
Through the initiative, we were able to implement plans and was able to get a grant to assist us with our community outreach.
Thank you. Miss Rima?
Yes, ma'am. Like Buffy said, um, technical support was very, very important to us as it relates to capacity building at Love Fellowship Ministries. We benefited from the community partnerships, of course, FIU mammography van that goes around, and we were able to, put out on our social platforms the various events and happenings as it relates to health that were happening in the community. And so our people were able to take advantage of these, as Buffy quite fitly talked about the whole aspect of the Live Healthy Miami Gardens health and nutrition programs, also the various even food distributions that were happening in the COVID, because COVID was very challenging. And we got onto the initiative right before COVID, but then as COVID came in, that was a challenge, and it made such a difference to be networking with the initiative so that we could have our people properly educated, our involvement with keeping the faith to fight COVID, um, promoting COVID testing and COVID vaccines, and also workshops that they put on for our church community to educate our people regarding COVID, and to give us an update on COVID. For us also, the whole aspect of the support staff, the administrative staff, that was just so very helpful in the support that they gave us. Another aspect that I must comment on, because we at Love Fellowship Ministries, we do have had a health ministry in place, but networking with Live Healthy Miami Gardens, the Miami Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative, we were better able to formulate a health committee from which we function, having a calendar, monthly calendar of health events, and to educate our people. And of course, as Ms. Mays mentioned, regarding the grant writing workshop was very informative, very helpful, in which we also, as a church, we were able to secure a grant, which became very, very helpful to us, because we do have a feeding program, and we needed to enlarge that feeding program as in COVID, people started, leaving the churches as such, could not get into their communities, but then people were there to be fed, to be taken care of. And so our feeding program was one way in which every Saturday morning, it was just a monthly program, but with COVID, we were able to increase it to every Saturday morning. And with that, we were able to give the people a warm breakfast. And we found that we were serving people monthly, like 50 people, but we got up to serving at 150. And with that, we needed more storage, refrigeration storage. And so with the grant that we secured, we were able to buy a commercial freezer to help us with storage, of supplies. So we really do benefit a lot from capacity building in most all aspects. And if we should even look at the fact of our um, uh, um, networking with the police department, the health department, keeping the faith, Black Nurses Association, those were community partnerships that we were able to secure and develop relationship with, that now, even as we move out a little bit of COVID, we know that these are lasting relationships that we can look to help us to continue our health program at our local church.
Thank you. Minister Frederica Walker, can you speak about your
Wow.
experiences and how you feel that the capacity building segment of the Live Healthy Mommy Gardens Faith and Wellness has helped you in your church?
Absolutely. Pretty much as Buffy, Rima, Miss Veronica has stated, just the whole organization of the initiative as a whole was truly a blessing to our church and our church family. Going through the process and the action plans, um, which allowed us to, of course, think outside of the box, and not only think outside of the box, it stretched a lot of the different things that we wanted to do in our ministry, and help us to fine tune those things that we actually were able to do. Of course, like Miss Rima said, it was just as we were going into this COVID pandemic. So this initiative allowed us to again stay connected, because that was our main goal, even in from the ministry perspective as well as our partnerships. But that allowed for us to do various partnerships with the Miami Dolphins, having a food distribution site set up here on campus or whatever, where we deliver fresh salads and sandwiches and different, nutritional foods or what have you to our community in a drive-by setup. We were able to connect with the emergency management system out of South Florida to, of course, set up our different sites, our testing sites. Before vaccines, of course, became available. So we were able to do both. Again, connecting with NOMI Health and so many other organizations, as well as our school board with Dr. Gallen and some of our commissioners in the city of Miami Gardens. They definitely were on board to help us push those efforts and to invite the community out to the various testing sites that we had here on the campus of Greater Love, as well as when the vaccines, of course, became available, us doing that as well. So just the action plans was fruitful. Not only that, stretching us beyond our ministry and helping us to tap into some other tools that we can use, of course, via social media. Again, staying connected to our community as well as our congregation. And again, pulling from other ministries, seeing what they were doing, like Buffy mentioned, that them developing an app. And we're like, ooh, how you do that? What's going on? Us just getting excited about how we do ministry, connecting with other ministries or what have you to see what they were doing and or to hear, because our various Zoom meetings were productive or what have you, where everyone was pretty much taking notes. Also, of course, the grant writing process, that within itself was amazing. Not only were we shown what to do, it was the step by step in a language that us newbies, could understand and process, which of course for us led us to with our, because we also have a learning center, daycare here. And our focus was to, a couple of years ago, a hurricane blew off the shelter in one of our playgrounds. So our focus was on that. So we wanted to continue to ensure that our kids are safe. But that was one of the things that the grant allowed us to do, was to provide that new covering over our playground area. And of course, with this year, we'll expand those efforts because the kids are still coming and our ministry as well as the daycare is growing. So even in those efforts, it's going to help us to do even more things as we continue to move forward with the initiative. But from the capacity building and the technical support, I'll be remiss if I did not mention that. There was so much that was released to us, so many great resources that could be intimidating, but the support that was given to us held us by the hand and walked us through step by step, which of course has had us in this place of wanting to stay and continue with the initiative. So we're very excited. Very excited.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So as a result of joining this initiative, do you see any changes? Do you see changes within your congregation, within your community, that how this initiative has made an impact? I'm going to call Buffy Butler to talk about that.
Oh my gosh, Andrea, yes. I will just say that, and it's been so much, and it's been so fruitful for us. With our, just this past weekend, we had a celebration of Caribbean and American heritages, and there we had Empower You, community health centers giving out COVID boosters. When we just think about, it's just in our DNA now, making sure that not only did we have Empower You here, but we also had the Bloodmobile here as well on Sundays. So now it's just, as I shared in our DNA of what we're doing here, my ministry partner and I were just sitting down talking about our next steps for mental health counseling here at the church. It's just at the forefront of everything that we're doing. I mean, as was shared previously, there was just so many resources provided to us, technical support. And then on the budgeting side, when we're doing our grants and all of those things, and being corrected in those ways as well. I mean, we learned, we made mistakes, we were, corrected, shown how to do it the proper way. Um, I mean, it was just so beneficial to us. We are expanding what we're doing here. Our relationship with Empower You now will have their mobile community center here at our church every other Sunday. We just had someone come up to us. One of our food truck vendors came up to us and said, my sister nor I have health care, and having Empower You here was just tremendous for them. I mean, when we talk about the thousands of people that we were able to help vaccinate, the testing that occurred, and as mentioned before, helping with food insecurities here in our community. I mean, there's so much we could just go on and on about the tangible ways in which this initiative helped us here, not only at Antioch, but within our community and beyond. And one of the things that we were able to, or that we're now able to participate in, is the White House initiative, because we were referred by the Miami Gardens, the Healthy Miami Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative. So now we're a part of a weekly call with the White House every Thursday, talking about things. We're a part of the COVID-19 Community Corps. That's out of Washington. I mean, so all of these things, started with this initiative and has just grown so much for us here. I mean, being able to partner with our local churches, when we received information that the state had masks available. And so we were able to receive those masks and then share it with other members of the group of our faith, with our other faith-based organizations. I mean, so we have just been so blessed with the resources, the technical support that we've received in helping us to structure. I think Miss May, someone said this earlier, maybe it was Miss Rima, who talked about, just being able to structure our monthly goals and initiatives of what we have going on in our ministry and in our community. I mean, just tremendous support that we receive, and just the growth. I mean, the exercise and online resources, they sit on the first page of our app. COVID-19 resources sit on the first page of our app, so that not only our congregation, but our community, they have access to all of these resources that have been made available to us, and just the partnerships that we've garnered over the last 2 years. And again, at what was said earlier, is that that's why we want to continue to be a part of this initiative a second go round.
Yes, thank you, Buffy. So can I refer this same question back to Miss Rima?
I basically think Buffy covered it all in a sense, but yes, if I should put it in a way that it would seem to summarize it, is yes, it's the partnerships that we have built. And when we speak of partnerships, I know we are impressing on community organizations that were out there, whether it's the Blood Mobile or but then we also have to be looking at partnerships with other FBOs, because you are in a city and you're doing your own thing and you're not networking with other faith-based organizations. But as a result of this initiative, we were now able to realize that there is Mount Pisgah out there, there's Antioch out there, and we all have the same goal, of improving health in our people, and working from a faith base. And so now we can reach out to each other. And when we have our events, we do not only satisfy the need of our immediate community, our church, or our city community, but as to say, our neighborhood community, but now we can get people from other communities. It's
Mhm.
not just Bunch Park for Love Fellowship Ministries, but we are able to get into, the other areas of the city of Miami Gardens. And so we have our people not just supporting us, but being educated, benefiting themselves. So that the partnership is just really key as it relates to the FBOs as well as to the other community organizations. And it is the health awareness that this also accomplish in our people in terms of when we as a church, we have put policies in place, like water policy, no sodas anymore. No, church has these eating, various events of eating and stuff like that. But as a result of networking with this organization, we become so health conscious that now water is everywhere. Water is in the pulpit, and we are telling our various departments in our church, when you serve a meal or and having any meal event, no sodas, water, that sort of thing, healthy food. So there's a health awareness that is in the general community. And even for our feeding program, we are making sure that they are served a nutritious meal. So them looking at what they are getting, they are able to filter this into their home situation as well, which is so very important. I mean, and just the access to all the various organizations that are in the community itself, HCI, we can tell our people where you can go for exercise. People we have in our community that might not have insurance, and we are able to point to them to places that they can go to get health care, even although they don't have insurance and nobody has to investigate, their situations. So that is so very important. But another thing that we want to talk about is accountability that we have developed within our in us as faith-based organizations. Not that you have a strap over our back, but because of the accountability process that is in place, that we need to be doing this, we need to be doing that. So it pushes you to be able to put programs in place that will benefit
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
people. So
Mhm.
in a sense, we are empowered. We are empowered. So the list is long, as to the benefits and how we really achieve from the initiative here, Miami Gardens Faith and Wellness Initiative.
Thank you for that, Sister Rima. Now, our last question is, if you could encourage another faith-based organization to join this initiative, what would you say in less than 3 sentences? Can I have Minister Frederica Walker? Can you speak to that, please?
Woo! With all that has been said, you see the smiles on our face. You've heard, the favor that has been released upon us. At the end of the day, as we move out of this pandemic, and the new term is we're back outside. It's imperative for us to be very, very knowledgeable of our well-being, and that well-being is our healthiness. So even in being connected to this initiative, for those that are not as of yet, is definitely something that you would want to be a part of. There are so many jewels, so many tools that will be provided. But above all, at the end of the day, it becomes an extension of relationship. And with
Mhm.
anything and everything that you do, relationship is key. Who you
Yes.
know is stellar at the end of the day. and to be connected with an empowered initiative like this one is something that you would need to put in your to-do list as of today. You've heard enough, from us. The smiles on our face is real, and we have more work to do. But we're looking for you to get connected now and help us on this wellness journey.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Miss Mays, if you could encourage another faith-based organization to join the initiative, what would you say in less than 2 sentences?
Well, was that Ms. Remer? She basically said everything, but the most important thing is I have an opportunity to reach out to other communities, other resources to bring to your community information. That's the most important. We want to make our community healthy, and that's by reaching out to others. And it brings us all together and keeping us well. And I like that, the having the resources, the information, the materials that is provided, the COVID material that was given to our churches, that we were able to provide the families that came to our feeding program. There are so many other resources and maybe some of the other churches might have more information that will help us grow even better.
Butler, what would you say?
That's what I was just thinking. What Miss May said, I was like, what would be most beneficial is for other people to come on board in order to help us expand our capacity so that we can do more in the community. The benefits for any organization that is a part, any faith-based organization that is a part, is from what you've heard during the last 30 minutes or so, is great for the organization. And so having more organizations or more faith-based organizations come on board is not only beneficial to you as an organization, as a church, at your mosque, but it's also going to be just build greater capacity for our community. And I think that's the bottom line.
That's key. That is definitely key. We all need to work together, and we have strength in
Yes,
many.
in numbers.
Yes. So I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy our segment and all our guests today. And you have a pleasant day. Have a good one. Bye
Thank
now.
you.